Welcome back. Today we're starting in the shop and then we'll get out to the boat. Right now it's still winter, so the boat's on the side of the house, but the project I'm looking at today is adding solar. So last year I already added a solar charge controller, and I was using one of those little Harbor Freight trickle chargers, and they're garbage. They don't really add anything. Maybe they're supposed to be just for keeping a battery topped off or a trickle charge. I didn't find that they added anything to my house battery. My house battery is currently one 110 amp hour deep cycle battery. It's a gel battery. So I have one of them in the boat right now. Once I start doing some more camping, I anticipate I'll go up to two. So my goal will be about 220 amp hours. Now, with a standard lead acid battery, whether they're flooded or gel battery and AGM, you really can only safely use 50% of that charge. If you go below that, you start damaging the battery. So when you're sizing your battery bank, you use 50% of the amp hours that a battery is rated at. Now that's just flooded lead acid, not the newer lithium batteries and such. So I'm on old school system. But I've been finding just in my day sales and such, I'm using maybe 5, maybe 10 amp hours during the day and maybe slightly into the evening. So I'm using some lighting, navigation lights, maybe some lights in my cabin, but I'm not drawing a lot on it. So a solar system that I want to put in, I want to make scalable. So I picked up one of these. I just found it online. I think it was through Amazon. It's Rich Solar. And this particular one is 30 watts. So it's a 30 watt panel. What I like about it is it's nice and small. My plan is to put it on a stern rail. This one's going to go on my port side. And if I need to add more later, I'll add another one on the starboard. Reason I picked port side is because my boat in a slip is typically docked starboard too, so my port side's open. Also, orientation on my boat in the marina faces north, so this will give me a little bit more unobstructed sun onto a solar panel. Here's my plan. I have these Sea Dog clamps. So these clamps will fit right onto a stern rail. I think they're rated for fits 3/4 up to 1 3/4. So there's different size adapters in here that'll fit onto the different sizes of stainless. But these obviously won't mount anywhere on this. So the plan is take a piece of aluminum, cut it to length. I'm going to stick it. You might not be able to see this very well. Let me do this. So my plan is to stick a piece of aluminum, cut it to length. I have a little bit of concern though. There's a little flex there. Now that might not be a problem at all. This is 14 inches about from side to side. So I got enough aluminum that could provide me to double it up. Oddly enough, at Home Depot, I couldn't find anything that was 1.5 inches wide by 1/4 inch. This is 1/8 inch. So I got enough to double it if I need it. If not, I'll either save it in stock or take it back to the Home Depot store. I think this stuff was $28, $29 for 2 pieces. So the plan, cut it, put it here, and then mount the Sea Dog rail clamp on top of it. Now what's interesting is kind of the order for this. I need to cut these, drill the holes, then mount this into the aluminum, and then I'll slip it onto the frame. That's essentially the project. So let's get busy. I'm looking at 14 inches. I think will work out perfect. The dimension to this is 14 1/4. So if I cut my straps at 14 inches, it'll give me enough room to line up for my holes. I think we'll be good. Let me put this out of the way before I break it. Now, we've got one mounted, and we have our second one. I measured a couple of times to make sure that they were both in the same location relative to each other, because they need to fit square on the stern rail. So these need to be lined up. So we're going to hope we got them lined up properly. My arm is tired. My day job is sitting in front of a computer or behind a camera most often. And that does not do much for working strength in the forearm and the elbows anymore. So, repeat process. Nut, hold, line up, place, and turn. Catch a thread or two. Grab my wrench. Now I'm not tightening it all the way, just getting rid of some of the slack. Now I can do the other side. Last one, nut. All right, that's tight. There you have it. One solar panel, 2 aluminum straps, 2 Sea Dog rail mounts. I don't know what size collar I need for the rails outside on my boat. So I am going to put this together, and when I have some time with daylight again, I will be mounting this on the stern rail, connecting my ASE plug once I know the length, take the receiver, plug that somewhere, maybe along the gunnel, maybe so it doesn't sit with water inside, maybe something like that. Drill a hole, drop that in the boat, wire that to the solar charge controller. That's it. I'll see you out in the boat.